What's happening, people? EDC freaking video winter 2020. Hope you guys are doing well out there, by the way. And I wish you all a Merry Christmas for those of you that celebrate, and for those of you that are not religious, hope you can spend some time with your family as well. So let's just get into it. Key bar. I am a big fan of the key bar system. I carried the green aluminum version for years. I don't want to say upgrade, but I changed to the carbon fiber one. Not really a big fan of carbon fiber usually, but I do like this one. It's also much lighter than the aluminum, and I have also the deep carry pocket clip on here, which I prefer over the normal one, and also have a lanyard. Great thing to have a key organizer. Makes your life so much easier. Usually also carry a smartphone, which I don't have here, and my headphones. Wrapped, what is this called, like a Ranger band around it, so they don't get tangled up with itself. Always carry a big lighter of some sort. And I'm not a smoker, by the way, I just carry them because I think they are useful. And I do carry them inside some self-made Kydex sheaths because, you know, big lighters always tend to do this. You know, they lose gas if you tap on here, so I really can't stand that, so I always carry it in like a Kydex sheath. Also can wear this around your neck. Super good to have a lighter on you. First aid kit. I usually have like a decked out first aid kit in my backpack. But on my person, I only have like small bandages and, you know, a bigger bandage as well to, yeah, you know, to take care of a bigger wound as well. But bandages, super important in my opinion. To carry a wallet, I have carried the entire year. I've carried a really small wallet with like a zipper. That was really useful. Back to my old wallet, which is really big and bulky, but it's really well made, and it's actually handmade. It's leather. It smells beautiful. Have a little pocket for my coins as well. Super nice wallet, but a little bit too big and bulky for me. I will try to find a new one somewhere in the future. I don't know. Yeah, face mask, self-explanatory. Don't need to talk about that shit. Flashlight. I always carry a flashlight on me. Same with the wallet. During summer times I carry a very small flashlight. This one is a little bit bigger, still not overly thick. This is just a AA battery flashlight, Nightcore MT2A. What I really like about this is, first, it has a tail switch, which is the most important thing for me personally in a flashlight, to have a tail switch, because, you know, you always know where the button is, no matter what. And the second thing I really like about this is that you can switch between modes even if the light is turned off, which is a super great feature, and I don't know why not more flashlights don't have this feature, because this is actually super cool. So you can actually set this. So I have, on one side I have my high output, and on the other side I have low output. And honestly, these are the only two modes that I ever use in a flashlight. I either need maximum or, you know, the lowest output that is possible. The other modes I don't really use. There are SOS modes and strobe modes and disco modes in this flashlight, but I don't care about these, so I only use these two modes. And, you know, depending the situation, I can switch the mode whatever I need without turning the light on first, which is super cool. The light itself is not too strong, so we only have like 350 lumens, which is a little bit, you know, it's not nothing. You can work with it, and it's more than I personally need, but it's not the strongest flashlight out there either. But on the other hand, the battery holds decently long, and I don't know, the light seems to be reliable so far. So, and I do like this on-off feature, or mode switch feature, I should say. Next up, my watch. I carry a Citizen. This is probably my favorite watch. It's just really reliable. It's an eco drive, so that means it's solar powered. So as long there is a sun out there, you don't need to do anything basically with this watch, and if there is no sun anymore, then you don't need a watch probably either. So I guess it's like a pilot style watch. It has this glow in the dark mode in this very light blue, almost turquoise color. I think it looks beautiful. I like it. Canvas on the back over leather on canvas on the front over leather on the back on the straps. I think it's like 41 millimeters or 42 millimeters in diameter. I don't really know. Really reliable, fairly accurate, works well. Nothing more to say about this. And yeah, traditional knives. I always carry a traditional knife in winter. In summer not so much, but in winter, spring and autumn I always carry traditional knives. One of my most carried traditional knives probably is my Victorinox Cadet. It has the small blade, so it's smaller than the Spartan, than the Tinker and the Pioneer. But yeah, you can see I use this one a lot. Apart from that, it only has the file on the one side and then the standard bottle opener screwdriver. Really slim. I like the A-Lux models because they hold up really well. I have a Predator lanyard on here, which looks also nice. And yeah, there's that. Another Victorinox small Tinker. Same blade size as with the Cadet, so the small blade size. I don't think you need any longer on a Victorinox than Cadet and Tinker blade size. It just works as a secondary knife. It's perfect. And this one happens to also have even smaller blade, which is great because you can sharpen this to a scary sharpness. And the other one is your user blade. And the Tinker also has a screwdriver, the toothpick and the pliers, which I also enjoy quite a bit. And more traditional knives. This one is the Robot Class Trapper, the small Trapper, I think. I'm not sure if they have a large Trapper, I think, or is this the only Trapper? I don't even know. It's a German Solingen made little pocket knife, runs on brass liners and has mossy oak handle scales. And I don't even know what the steel is. It's some sort of stainless German steel. I don't know. Case, teardrop, beautiful blade shape on this one. This is about the same size than the Cadet. The small Trapper is a little bit bigger, so you can see the size there. Really like the teardrop. I think the blade shape is just very, very, very nice. And has a little bit of the down curve, small little swedge on the front. We have a very dark bluing going on, so it's almost black. And white bone handles, red shield. Really like the teardrop as well. And if I'm not carrying one of these, I'm carrying a bigger traditional knife, which is my relatively new. I still have this for a couple of weeks already, but it's still relatively new. It's GEC model number 23. It's a big, bulky, heavy knife. It's also large, so it's I think it's like 9.5 centimeters. Not too small. Has a liner lock and a half stop and a really, really hard pull. And the chick bone handle scales are, they call this, I think, red tail. It's like a really dark red and it almost looks black under certain colors. And as you can see, I have some really crazy patina going on the blade. I cut some onions with this one not too long ago. And since then it has this really dark blue patina going on. I might clean this up in the future. I always say that and then I never do it. And I carry this in a leather sheath in my back pocket usually. So yeah, because we are stuck at home in the last weeks, we were stuck at home a lot. So I did carry some crazy stuff as well. And I also carried a trainer. This is the trainer for the Fox 479, I think, the larger karambit. I have the smaller one as well, but I like the larger one. It's just nice to have a trainer and play around with and not hurt yourself with the real version. So trainers are always good. Not sure if you guys are into martial arts, but I do like I do like Marshall blades quite a bit, although I'm not a fan of what people do with it sometimes, but you know, different story. Anyways, yeah, also one of the crazier knives that I carry at home a lot, and also outside actually, the Formex Scout. I take this to the woods sometimes as well. It's just a big, beefy folder, 4 inches or 10 centimeters in the blade, like, you know, the name suggests. Yeah, heavy knife. Really smooth action for a triad lock, and really not that expensive for the materials you get. Aus 10A steel, really solid construction. I really enjoy the Formex actually. Extrema Ratio BD4 Lucky. It's sort of a modern stiletto style, very thin tip also, and yeah, not much to say. Easy to carry actually, but has a couple of issues. Not the best knife. I wouldn't really recommend this as a, you know, self-defense tool. It's a little bit, the liner lock is a little bit too weak, but I like it just because the way it looks and the way it feels, and I carry that one usually only at home because, like I said, it's not a really solid self-defense knife. But yeah, I've done a video on this, by the way, if you want to check that out. Also one of the crazier ones, Voyager Vaquero in the serrated version. Very intriguing blade shape, very interesting blade shape to me. I really enjoy this knife, and I wouldn't have guessed that I enjoy this knife as much as I do. It's a crazy one, it's a weird one, and I really enjoy it. Yeah, a crazy knife. Used it for utility sometimes as well. Serrations hold up great so far. Not much to be said there anymore, and yeah. I like my Voyagers, what can I say? Voyager large clip point. I like the clip point because it has a thin, precise tip, and it is really thin behind the edge. Not really, but decently thin behind the edge. The Aus 10 takes a super nice edge, and if you sharpen it yourself, it holds an edge for a really long time. This is just a very solid work knife, and I do like it for that. It's just a simple lockback clip point knife, and it's just a hard use go to work knife. I like it. I like the Voyagers. What can I say? Relatively new in my collection, but has a lot of pocket time these days, is my Microtech SOCOM. Yeah, this one is in M390 DLC coated, black scales, aluminum scales that is. Really great knife. Really great knife, I have to say. I'm not super fan of the M390 and the ball bearings, but it's just a great tool. Super thick. I wish they would still make the old blade shapes as well, that were a little bit thinner on the spine and also thinner in the grind. But yeah, the Microtech SOCOM is a solid one. I love this knife. Glass break on the end. And like I said, aluminum. Aluminum tends to get a little bit cold in winter, but I just like this knife so much I have to carry it. Also a big heavy bruiser, Demco 8020, machine ground version, so this is not the custom, this is the sort of production mid-tech version that they have. Shark lock is super addictive to play with. Yeah, the quality on this knife is insane, out of this world. Really great tool. Also a very hard to use knife, also kind of thick in the grind. And what can I say, I really like it. Usually I tend to like the thinner blades, thinner edges, but I don't know. These days I also find myself carrying some of the bigger stuff as well. So, last one but not least, the Spyderco Swayback. Very controversial design, I guess. Well, not controversial, but it's not gonna be for everybody. With that down curved tip. Let me switch to manual focus real quick. Great knife, great and deep hollow grind, CTS XHP. I wish Spyderco would do a lot more knives in CTS XHP and in thin hollow grinds, because thin hollow grinds are awesome. And this knife cuts really well. It's really good for the, you know, draw cutting, and also for holding it like this. It's still a swayback after all. Always wanted to have the custom version of this, but I was really glad to see that Spyderco also made a production version of this one. Some people have troubles opening this one. You know, it's not a Spidey flicker because, you know, the hole is only on one side basically. You can still flick it, but it's more of a slow roller, I guess. But great knife. I really enjoy it. 3D contoured titanium scales. Not so much a titanium knife guy, but I do like this one. Yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I wish yourself a nice holiday season. Even though there is so much shit going on in the world, you know, don't let that drag you down, and take care of each other, and have yourself a nice rest of your day. Goodbye, people.